Hi guys, and welcome back to the Theory Lab. And what I'm going to do today is a recap of everything we've looked at over the last 4 courses, okay? So there's quite a lot that we've been through, and I know probably at this point it might seem all a little overwhelming if you've just gone through it bit by bit. I would highly suggest that as you learn a new thing, you stop for a while. So you kind of apply it. You go back to the guitar skills section, or maybe you're doing some player studies or whatever you're doing, and you try to use this theory in those parts, okay? Because that's how it's really gonna get learnt properly, okay? Now, let me just recap everything that we've done so far, okay? So we kicked off with just learn the 12 notes of music. So we know that stuff, okay? So I'm not gonna go that far back. Now, after that, we constructed our first major scale, okay? So I'm gonna go through nice and steadily here, everything that we've done. So in terms of the major scale, we discovered that we needed something, a little formula. So I'm gonna go with C for the moment, where we did tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone, okay? And that wonderful, wonderful, magical super formula gives us our major scale, okay? Now, sticking with the scale for the moment, okay, we then worked out how to harmonize a scale, okay? So let's just go with that for a second. Now, we kind of, to this formula which constructs our scale, so this is our scale formula, our major scale formula, we added a second formula, didn't we? Where we could say, well, each one of these notes has a chord, okay? And very clearly, we made it so that there's numbers above them, okay? That was very important because we said, well, with the first one, we always have a major chord. With the second, it's always minor. With the third, it's always minor. With the fourth, it's major. Fifth, it's major. Sixth, it's minor. And seventh is diminished, okay? And then kind of back to the start again, okay? So we've got 2 formulas. Formula 1 equals the tone, tone. Formula 2 equals the major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished, okay? 2, I don't know, rhymes if you like, to remember, okay? Formulas that you just needed to remember. And basically that is the meat and potatoes, the bulk of everything that we've gone through, okay? Now, we also discovered that if you start everything from the 6, so if I just draw a line down there, a better line than that, we can say that that's our relative minor. So C major is exactly the same as A minor, okay? So going from A around to A gives us the minor scale, okay? So that's really cool. Now, I just want to come back a bit here, because if you remember, we also worked out that if I took the first, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, flatten the third, flatten the 6 and flatten the 7, I get a minor scale. So what's that all about? How come I've kind of gone to the 6 here for a minor scale, but I haven't flattened the third, the 6 or the 7? I don't understand. This is you know, a lot of my students are like kind of, what's going on kind of thing. So let me just clarify that, okay? What I'm talking about when I talk about relative minor is a quick and easy way of finding the minor scale if you already know the major, okay? Because that will find us this minor scale. It will find us the relative minor scale, the A, okay? It does not tell us what the C minor scale is, okay? It does not tell us that. If we want to find the C minor scale, we've got to do the other technique, okay? So we've got to do the technique where we take the major scale. So let me just do it down here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, okay? And we'll come back here, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, okay? Now, we've got to now, if we want to do this as a minor scale, this scale as a minor scale, so a C minor scale, we have to do the flattened third, flattened 6, and flattened 7th. And then if I do that, I get E flat, A flat, and B flat, okay? That is very different to finding a relative minor within one scale. Because this part up here is saying, okay, well, the C we've got, okay? But we can also start all of that from A, and that will give us an A minor scale, okay? That's cool. That's something different to here saying, well, actually, I just want to know the C minor scale, to be honest. Not what the relative of C is. That's different. This is a C minor scale. Okay. So now I use that technique there to find a C minor scale. From there, there's loads I can do. Okay. So this is where all the theory is going to start intertwining, and this might take a while to really understand, but let me just show you. Okay. Now, from here, I can find relative majors. Okay, so if I've already worked out, use this to find the relative minor, okay, I can now think, how would I find the relative major? So I'm now thinking of it backwards, right? So if you remember, to find the relative minor, I've gone from the major back to, like that, okay? So imagine that this here, this minor, is here, okay? So remember when we did it and we did the A, we said, okay, well, fine, this is minor now, so it's not 1, it's kind of 6 in brackets, 7 in brackets, 1 in brackets, 2 in brackets, 3 in brackets, 4 in brackets, 5 in brackets, 6 in brackets, okay? Because that way, by doing that, okay, we can see very clearly that E flat is the relative major of C minor. So it's doing exactly the same thing as we've done here, except now we've combined two parts of our theory. So if we come at it from the approach where we've worked out the major scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and put the major notes in, and then want to find the relative minor, we go to the 6. Okay? If we've come from the approach where we want to find the minor scale, so we've done 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, 8, and we want to find the relative major in that, which is very reasonable. We'd probably want to do that, because why wouldn't you? Vice versa as well. You would imagine the 1 as being the 6, the 7, and then through to the 1, so we've got E flat major, okay? And by doing that, okay, you can apply this second formula again, amazingly, because we know where the major is now. This 1 is the relative major, so we can apply the formula major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, of course, so there's the minor again, and then diminished, okay? So I've now applied my two formulas that I know, okay, but in different ways, okay? So I know that can possibly be a little overwhelming, but really, really just try and get that into your head, okay? So recap again, we find the major by doing this formula. Okay, if that's all we then want, we've got it. Okay, and we can harmonize that using our major, major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished formula. Okay, if from that point we then want to find the relative minor, because for example we kind of want to start writing a little bit more in minor, then we go to the 6 and voila, we found it. Okay, however, if we're saying, okay, I want to find straight away, off the bat, from day one, C minor rather than C major. Well, I have to find C major first, okay? If I'm doing it from scratch, because I use my formula, tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone, to find C major. Then I apply this formula, okay? The flattened third, flat 6, flat 7 to make it a minor. And then from there, I can add all the rest of it to complete my theory so that I can harmonize it. I can harmonize the C minor scale to work with the correct chords and so on and so forth. So that's basically everything we've learned in one big chunk. So it can be quite hard. Now, certainly in the guitar skills section, we're going to be taking this stuff and making it applicable, go onto the guitar, how to physically do this so that it's not all just paperwork, okay? But for now, this is all about getting down and thinking about it and working this through, okay? Now, the only other thing we've gone through is chord construction, okay? So if I just draw a quick line here, okay, or here, we're going to think, what's our chord construction again? Well, that's all separate to this. So this is all about keys and scales. The chord construction is taking a formula kind of roughly based on this. So saying, okay, well, we've got the major, we've got these numbers, and we're just going to pick some of them to create ourselves a major, minor, or diminished key. Okay, and if you remember, if we come over here, the first, the third, and the fifth give us major. Okay, so that's major. For minor, we have the first, the flat third, and the fifth. And for diminished, we have the first, the flat third, and the flat fifth. Sorry about that, get rid of that. The flat, oh, that's all wrong. And the flat five. So 1, flat 3, get rid of all of that rubbish. Flat 5. Okay, let me just get rid of that there. Make that a little bit clearer for you guys. Yeah, cleaning a chalkboard is always fun. And a flat 5 there, okay? So, that is our chord construction theory. Really simple, and it's simply based on knowing nothing more than the major scale. Okay, you're just taking the major scale and editing it ever so slightly in various different areas. So then, guys, I congratulate you to start with for going through all of this with me, because it really takes a bit of dedication, doesn't it? It takes a bit of, going out of the fun zone for a little bit, but I guarantee you, okay, once you've got this together and you kind of get a bit more familiar with these ideas and start using them a lot more, and I'm telling you, I'm promising you, pretty much everything from here on in is based on these fundamental ideas, okay? So this first bit's been extra hard because we've had to learn all the ideas from scratch, but from here on in, we're going to use pretty much just this to learn everything else. So it's going to make your guitar playing in the long term so much better, because when you kind of pick up that guitar and you're kind of doing those solos, so you might be looking at David Gilmour, for example, and you're learning some of these, these sounds and these solos and everything else, and you're going, well, I'm playing that over this backing track. What's going to start happening is you're going to start going, well, actually, I know why these chords are working with this scale. I can see that now because this chord is built using notes of that scale. And this selection of chords is all built using this theory of harmonizing the scale. And believe me, when you start understanding that and knowing that and suddenly getting that eureka moment of going, oh, I get this, this is brilliant. There's nothing more rewarding because you fully understand the guitar at that point. So, even if it's hard now, keep going. Watch these videos as many times as you need before moving on, where we're going to get harder theories coming in, but obviously we're going to gradually level it up. But for now, have fun and enjoy it.